Anyhow, Mike in Villas, New Jersey. Hey, Mike, what's on your mind?
Hey, I'm responding to the blip that you brought up about the study where people were apparently, psychically anticipating random.
Correct. It's called precognition.
Well, George Nuri had a guy on Coast to Coast a few years ago who he was a British fellow, and he was describing a study. And I believe the claim at the time is that all these things were done in a way to hide the backstory that dogs know when you're coming home, and the way that they proved this was they had like video cameras pointed at dogs and video cameras pointed at dog owners at work, and then they randomly generated a departure message for the person to leave the office to go home, and they did it in ways that would keep the dogs from, the dog hears the tram or the dog hears the car come up. They did it in ways to hide that. So just basically they had videotapes with timestamps that showed that when they called the guy and told him it's time to go home from work, the dog would be leaping up and running around the house.
Yeah, the guy you're talking about is Rupert Sheldrake. He wrote about that in a book called 4 Experiments That'll Change the World. And you're right. And the other part that they did was, they assumed, the dogs would get up and go stand by the door when they heard the car coming down the road or, at a particular time or whatever. But the other thing that if I remember this correctly, that they decided was that they learned was that when people made the decision to leave the party that they were at or whatever and come home, not necessarily when they actually walked out the door, not necessarily when they got in their car, but when they made the decision. And in some cases it was externally made, like you've said, with a random generator, and sometimes it was simply they decided. And then, once they made that decision, they noted the time, and then they went back and looked at the cameras and the timestamps. That was when they made the decision. That was when the dogs got up and said, here comes mom and dad. Yeah, it's fascinating stuff, Mike. It's fascinating stuff.
That'd be a good place for somebody to bring in the theremin for the soundtrack,
Yeah, there you go. But his name is Rupert Sheldrake, and he's written some really amazing stuff. Mike, thanks a lot for the call. It's great to hear from you.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.